Hello friends, and what's going on, and welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Here we are again, you and I, friend. The daily series on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion for whatever that's worth. More importantly, asking for yours. Todd Boehly's Twitter account, tweeting out apologies. Is it even him? I have reservations. In the Ted Lasso saga, we'll reflect on that. And also, I want to talk about Chelsea's sponsors moving forwards, because it is interesting. People are, it's to do with money, making money. Heck, that's important for your club. And what it's going to look like as well, the shirts and, all the branding and what sponsor's going to be on front. People making mock kits and mock kits of ideas of, Tesla. What else is big American Chevrolet was at United, but all these different potential shirt sponsors. We'll find out about the P's, and Chelsea could leave free. It was an article written last month by Matt Law, but I hadn't talked about it, so I wanted to talk about it. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you being here, viewer/listener. I really do, so do consider dropping a like to just give me a little sort of tiggle back in return, like, hey Yen, I see ya. And you are, of course, welcome to subscribe. And if you do, hit the bell, because hot dog, that's important. Right, the Daily Mail. I'm very sorry for referencing this crap rag, but, it's here, and it's offering context of Todd Boehly apologising to fans, but pins the blame on the Roman Abramovich's regime for disrespectful editing of the club legend Ray Wilkins' banner. God, they know how to write a headline, these tabloids, don't they? Heck, maybe I'll even piggyback on these, man, and say something like that, and see if it's clicked you in. And if you have, and you got this far, I love you very much. Stay with me for the journey. Chelsea co-owner Todd Boehly has issued an apology on Twitter after the fans were incensed by the Ted Lasso producers doctoring the tribute club legend Ray Wilkins. His tribute, the banner. The episode includes Kent, an ex-Chelsea player in the world of Ted Lasso, returning as a hero's welcome with the banner that reads, "They don't make them like Roy anymore." Of course, they don't make them like Ray anymore. However, the real-life banner was actually for Ray Wilkins, who, beloved figure, not just at Chelsea as well, across, other clubs, United and stuff. Producers of Apple TV appeared to have tweaked it to change his name. It sounds minor, and theoretically it's minor, but it is disrespectful, because this was a fan-funded banner that is, this is for a club legend, a beloved player, and it was it was owned by the fans essentially, because it was made and funded by the fans, so they have no right to doctor it and sort of mutilate the message. So while it is it's like changing a letter and whatever, what it represents is a lot worse, and I do get it, and I do sort of not actively feel outrage, but I do sort of resonate with the outrage. So Neil Barnett tweeted out his displeasure on this banner, and at Todd_Boehly responded. Excuse me. Now, as you've probably seen, Todd Boehly, well, you may do. I used to be on Twitter most days until I deactivated and deleted that bitch. But should you be a Twitter user yourself, you will see Todd Boehly flowing around in Twitter Spaces, liking tweets, almost things he shouldn't be liking as well, to the point where you think, well, this is just a social media representative of a billionaire, utilizing his social media for him and trying to get the feels of the fans. Maybe that is true, and maybe he uses it as well, or maybe it's just the big man himself exclusively. I just struggle to, believe that. Anyway, he replied with this tweet, or representative, but it could be him. "We had nothing to do with these arrangements," says Todd Boehly. "The deal with Apple was struck in the first quarter of 2022. Which is, I'm guessing, the Roman Abramovich tenure still. "We are sorry if it affected so many people, and mostly we care about Ray and his family. we would also point out that none of these, quote, Chelsea players were actual Chelsea players. Hopefully that was clear. Yeah, that would be an image rights thing, so the club would have struck the deal, but the players have their own image rights, so they're not in the game. Like, you've got these weird interviews with, like, Graham Potter and Ruben Loftus-Cheek talking about, you know, Rory Kent coming back and joking about this, like, fictional player. It's lame, man. Look, I watched Ted Lasso, and it was fine. I liked it. It wasn't like... I wasn't buzzing on it, like, waiting for the next episode, like I was waiting for, like, you know, The Last of Us, or how I used to wait, you know, for Game of Thrones. Me and my girlfriend at the time used to get so excited for each episode to come out each week. But Game of Thrones broke my heart. Worse than The Girl, with the last series, no spoilers. Anyway, it was fine, Ted Lasso, you know, it was probably good for introducing English soccer culture to the Americans, but yeah, it's like harmless fun, really. Do you know what I mean? So when we start like doing these interviews with Graham Potter talking about Roy Kent coming back to Chelsea and Ruben Loftus-Cheek and all that, it kind of, I don't know, it's just a bit like, now boys, come on, like, we've got so much unrest in the fan base and uncertainty, and this so forced. You know, I really like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Heck, I like Graham Potter, but you know, they're not like performative, gregarious, social people. Do you know what I mean? They're not actors. And if I was you know, there will be a few of you out there going, oh, well, Graham Potter's trying to act like a manager right now. There's a joke in there for some of you who are not believers, and I'm not saying I'm a believer. Point being, it is, I don't know, it's just a bit of a bad time, innit? Loads of people are upset. I'm looking on this article here, loads of people tweeting, you know, atting Jonathan Goldstein, Dan Finkelstein, you know, Paul Winstanley, and everyone who's on Twitter relate that they feel like they can reach. They atted them about this banner. So, whatever, I get it, it's silly. I think maybe it is disrespectful, and I'm glad there's been some sort of apology. And it does seem like he's like, yeah, this is on Abramovich's time, not me. But despite that, was he totally powerless to just let this happen? I mean, I guess the deal's signed, but surely they had to watch that video and sign it off and think, yeah, this is fine. Put that in the advert. Or the series. You know, they must have signed off in it, I guess. So he didn't stroke the deal. He kind of passing the buck a little bit. Probably, incidentally, Bruce Buck's probably the one that signed off on the deal, that American guy. So, you know, that's kind of interesting. We'll see what happens, though. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. It's good that some tweets come out from that account, whether it's him or not. And whether he's just passing the blame or not, we'll have to see. Let's move on. I want to talk about this article that Matt Law wrote, last month on The Telegraph, talking about a new shirt sponsor. Now, this is important. When we got Nike for the first time after, and obviously they're not sponsors, they're the manufacturer of the shirt. I just wanted to talk about this. When we got it in 2016 or 17, did we win the league in an Adidas kit? I think we might have, yeah. So the 16-17 is when we got Nike in. I was really excited. I really liked Nike kits. I thought Adidas, like, we had great Adidas kits over the years, but there was something a little bit more sleek about Nike. It felt like evolution. We just won the Premier League. We're going to get these more sleek, minimal shirts. Boy, what was I thinking at the time? And we signed a massive lucrative deal with them, which is fine. And Nike do make good shirts out there, just often not for Chelsea. I mean, we've had a couple. I really like the mod away shirt under Lampard with like the collar. I think we look really good in that as well. And there's like a couple of others. Obviously, the green screen's up. I got a couple hanging out. Last season's away shirt, the yellow shirt. I got that. That's naughty. But a lot of the time they've been out to embarrass us, Nike, and they've put out some peculiar shirts. Anyway, let's jump into this article quickly. Chelsea are in talks with a number of companies over a lucrative new front of shirt sponsor to replace Free. The move will delight supporters who were angered by the telecommunication giant's sanctions. And yeah, basically, when Chelsea got sanctioned under the aforementioned Abramovich, Free tried to jump ship early doors, Trivago didn't, and then Chelsea were like, or the fans were like, Travago, good. 3, bad. I just spat on my computer monitor. The Telegraph Sport understands Free's £40 million a year deal as the club's principal shirt sponsor is not set to be extended past the end of this season. So new sponsors ahoy, ladies and gentlemen. The Todd Boehly capital ownership aimed to significantly better the £120 million deal that was agreed to Free. I mean, since we signed that deal with Free, we won the Champions League again, and we hadn't have won it since 2012. So surely that beefs up your international European sort of brand value. But at the same time, we're 10th. But at the same time, we've got a Galactico squad of international stars that, you know, people from around the world will really enjoy following and know they play for Chelsea. So that's going to juice up the deal. That Chelsea will absolutely be thinking that as well. So Chelsea and Free have declined to comment on the matter, but it seems certain will part company from them. So we spent 600 million in our first 2 transfer windows, and we need to increase commercial revenue. The relationship with Chelsea ran into controversy last year when we got suspended. The Free logo basically tapped out, and Chelsea fans nuked the Trustpilot reviews. Do you remember that? They all jumped on and basically the world of Chelsea fans. So Trustpilot's ranking of Free went boo, which I don't know how much that legitimately damaged them, but it was hella funny. Excuse me. 3 resumed their commercial partnership with Chelsea following the sale of the club from Abramovich, but that did not stop the anti-free feeling among Chelsea fans. Yeah, that's true. So Chelsea's deal with Free was joint 4th largest in English football, which is okay really for Chelsea. Maybe try and do better. And Boehly and Killake will hope to get much closer to, or even better than, the £67.5 million a year deal that City have with Etihad. Liverpool hold the second biggest sponsorship deal with Standard Chartered, worth £50 million a year. Yeah, we can get something with those big American businessmen. Former Chief of Commercial and Operating Officer at City, Tom Glick, was made President of Business at Chelsea. Yeah, we saw him, so maybe he knows how to make the shirt sponsor deal happen. The good one. The one with all the money. As well as holding talks of the front of shirt replacement of 3, Chelsea are taking a host of companies for a new shirt sleeve sponsor. Yeah, Whalefin forced to terminate the contract with, you remember the whale on the side? Less than 12 months when they ran into economic problems. That is, a cryptocurrency company failing. Who the ruddy heck would have seen that coming? Yeah. It's unclear whether or not Chelsea could maintain any form of relationship or partnership with 3 once the company's front of shirt agreement expires. Well, I don't think we'd renew with them. I don't know what Boehly and Clealake's relationship with 3 is like, but, you know, I'm sure I just don't think they'll give them the money they want, even though the money was good at the time. Will we get a big new American sponsor? Tesla, McDonald's, Apple. They seem to love Apple. No, that was Roman's regime, wasn't it? Ted Lasso. Not enough money in it. Who else could be on the front? Football therapy. Bang. How much do you want, Todd B? I know you are looking at increasing the revenue from, and you want over 57 million for a year. Now, I don't have that, but we can come to an agreement. I've got Mia. She's meowing outside. Reverse Mia bingo. There she is. It's nice and cold out there. I'm sweating my gonads off in the office here, hence me getting down to my vest. Mia, where are you? Come here. Say hello to the people. Catch the kitten. Where is she? Oh, God. Mia, what are you doing? Come here. She's literally on the... Oh, there she is. Ugh. Meow, 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 meow. New shirt sponsors and... Todd Boehly on Twitter. That's been today's video. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe to this channel, Football Therapy, and good luck will happen to you for the rest of your life. Alright. That's a weird way to peter out a video, but here we are. I love you all. Take care.